When we last left off, Atari and Magnavox were pretty sure that nothing bad could happen to them. Little did they know that a full-blown Armageddon was heading their way, complete with 7 trumpets playing Fall Out Boy songs, the Harlot, and the 4 My Little Pony Men of the Apocalypse. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Now, just before the crash, 2 games worth mentioning appeared. One was Death Race. Originally titled Pedestrian, it started the first uproar against violence in video games. Apparently, mowing down stickmen was considered brutal and violent in the 70s. The other game was Breakout. If you haven't heard of Breakout, that's because the game is more known under the name Arkanoid, a clone done 10 years later by Taito. Breakout was developed as a one-player Pong. A fun fact is that Steve Jobs, inventor of the overglorified MP3 player and the overglorified cell phone, together with Steve Wozniak, with whom he would later create Apple, played a major role in its development. Steve Wozniak is the one who did all the hard work, but Jobs, being a total asshole, took all the credit and robbed Wozniak of a $5,000 engineering bonus. And you thought Billy G was evil. But the one thing that changed the industry the most back then was the invention of the ROM cartridge. First introduced in the Fairchild Channel F, the idea was quickly picked up by Atari and the 2600 was born. The 2600 became the biggest thing since stamp collecting, and much of its success came from having exclusive arcade ports. It is well worth pointing out that this period is known as the golden age of arcade video games. This era of peace and prosperity began in Sushiland. In 1978, instead of the usual annual Gojira attack, destruction came from outer space. Originally titled Space Monster, Space Invaders was a smash hit, first in weird sexual fetish land, then all over the world. The game was created by Edmund Honda and published by the mentioned before, till then struggling pachinko maker Taito. The game put Seppuku Land into a frenzy, causing a shortage of 100 yen coins. Many arcades had only Space Invader cabinets. In America, arcade games started showing up in malls and restaurants, instead of the usual shady pool halls and bars. Being the first game to feature a high score, it also created the first bragging, hardcore, pro, never saw a girl naked except his mom and dresses up in women's clothes when no one's watching, no-life gamer. And I'm not even going to sarcastically comment the high demand for original game ideas back then, as shown by games such as Space Armada, Galaga, and Galaxian. In America, Atari enjoys success with Space Debris Destroyer, Bug Extermination, Nuclear Holocaust Prevention, and simulated 3D tank warfare. That last one is so advanced, it's still used by the Russian military today. A big improvement over simulated cardboard tank warfare. Meanwhile, in Japan, a man is eating a pizza. After eating the first slice, he looks down at his food and invents a video game. Apparently, after America dropped its load on Japan in 1945, its entire population gained one of 3 incredible superpowers, creating batshit insane TV shows, controlling the minds of little children, and getting ideas for great video games from the most boring and mundane activities. This never happens in America or Europe. I mean, imagine David Jaffe inventing God of War after looking at his poo in the toilet. Or Peter Molyneux thinking up the next best game ever after reading a newspaper article about how gullible people are. Lucky Japs, all Ukraine got from radiation is 3-headed chickens and 2-headed cows. This pizza game was titled Puckman. Puck being the Japanese equivalent of Munch. The game got its name changed to Pac-Man when it went stateside, for no apparent reason. It's not like the word puck is similar to any bad word. Pac-Man quickly becomes a pop cultural phenomenon, spawning cereals, sweaters, cartoons, and erectile dysfunction pills. Soon, clones such as Miss Pac-Man and Casey Munchkin appear. What the hell? That's it! I've had it with this fucking crap. And next time some asshole tells you how video games used to be original and innovative, tell them to stick a watermelon up their dicks. All they ever played back then was clones and fucking space-themed games. Sure, we've had our onslaught of FPS games, but it's not like all of them were World War II themed and featured the landing in Omaha Beach. Okay, but it's not like every RTS game it plays basically the same. But it's unthinkable today for someone to take Tomb Raider, replace Lara Croft with a dark-haired, wisecracking male protagonist by the name of Nathan, and put in the Gears of War cover system. You know what, gaming industry? You haven't changed at all, so fuck you! And besides, Galaga was better than Space Invaders anyway.
Pac-Man. That's me! Pac-Man.
Oh! I must have those power pellets! Go find me the power pellet bonus!